Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to build a kind of mental compass for investing. It's a timeless framework, something designed to guide you through any market, not just for the next year, but for a lifetime.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to start with the most fundamental question in all of finance. Are you an investor or are you a speculator? Seriously, your answer to this will define every financial decision you make from here on out. It's not about what you buy, it's all about why you buy it. You see, the founding father of value investing, Benjamin Graham, he drew a really hard line between the two. And it all comes down to your mindset and your method. An investor analyzes a business. A speculator tries to guess what the crowd is going to do next. One is a discipline. The other, well, it's a gamble.
So let's get our foundation set. We'll start with the godfather of value investing himself, Benjamin Graham. His entire philosophy, believe it or not, can be boiled down into three incredibly powerful mental models. If you can master these, you've mastered the basics.
Now, these aren't some kind of complicated formulas. They are mental models for making rational decisions when it seems like everyone else is losing their cool. Think of them as your shield against fear and greed.
This quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of Graham's first rule. He asks you to personify the market as this character, Mr. Market, and he's your manic depressive business partner. Every single day he shows up either totally euphoric or completely terrified, offering to buy your shares or sell you his at just wild prices.
So here's the crucial point, right? When your totally emotional partner panics and offers you a ridiculous bargain, you don't panic with him. You see an opportunity to buy. His mood swings, his volatility, that stops being a risk and it actually becomes your single greatest advantage.
And that brings us to Graham's ultimate safeguard, the margin of safety. Look, this is the one concept designed to protect you from the single biggest risk in investing, the permanent loss of your money. In simple terms, it just means buying a business for significantly less than what it's actually worth.
Buffett explained this with this brilliant, simple analogy. Think about it. You don't build a bridge that can hold exactly 10,000 pounds to drive a 10,000-pound truck over it. No way. You build a 30,000-pound bridge. That extra cushion, that's your margin of safety. It's not about being perfect. It's about building a system where you can be wrong and still be totally okay.
But you know, the story doesn't end with Graham. His most famous student, none other than Warren Buffett, took this foundation and built an absolute castle on top of it. He evolved the philosophy, shifting the focus from simply buying cheap companies to buying great companies.
Yeah, influenced by his partner, the legendary Charlie Munger, Buffett shifted away from buying these statistically cheap cigar butt companies, you know, the kind with one last puff of value left in them, to owning wonderful businesses for the long haul. The margin of safety was no longer just in the price you paid, but in the quality of the business itself. And to find these wonderful companies, he came up with the idea of the economic moat. It's such a powerful visual metaphor, right? A great business is an economic castle, and its competitive advantage is the moat that keeps all the competitors at bay, protecting the profits inside.
And these are the sources of that protection. Is it a brand people just trust implicitly, no questions asked? Is it a total pain for customers to leave? Does the product actually get better as more people use it? These are the structural advantages that allow a company to fend off competitors and just compound its value for decades. Okay, so you've learned all the external rules, but then the apprentice discovers that the greatest challenge isn't actually the market, it's the person staring back at you in the mirror. Your own mind can be your biggest obstacle to success. You know, both Graham and Buffett are completely aligned on this. Controlling your own emotions, that is way more critical to success than being the smartest person in the room. A high IQ is pretty much useless if you panic at the first sign of trouble. The entire value investing framework, when you really think about it, is a system designed to counteract these destructive biases. So when the herd is panicking, you remember Mr. Market. When you start feeling overconfident, you stay within your circle of competence, the areas you truly understand. Each rule is an antidote to an emotional impulse, forcing you to be rational when your gut is screaming.
All right, so we have the rules and we've examined the psychology. The final piece of the puzzle, well, it's you. The compass is built, but you have to choose your own path forward, because there's more than one way to be an intelligent investor. Buffett himself says that for most people, the wise path is to simply own a low-cost index fund and get on with your life. The active path, the one where you're analyzing businesses, that's only for the truly dedicated student. Both are perfectly valid paths to success.
Ultimately, success in this game isn't about brilliant moves.
It's about the disciplined avoidance of really foolish mistakes. It's about letting time and the incredible power of compounding work their magic, which requires, above all else, patience.
And that is the final, crucial point. The stock market is really just a battlefield between patience and impatience, between business analysis and crowd psychology. The framework is simple, but the journey is a lifelong test of your discipline. So the question isn't just what you'll buy, it's which type of person you will choose to be.